Hello, Harry Neville. How are you doing today?
Tizard.
So this is your performance profile. Performance profiling happens 3 times in a season: pre-season, mid-season, and post-season. It's just to track your progress, see how you're doing as a player, just so to track how much you improve. Okay.
Right.
Anything you say here is confidential. It won't be said to any of the other players, good or bad. So this is just in this meeting.
Yep.
So let's have a look at your 10 key features. What position do you play again?
I play right back or right wing.
And what player do you model yourself from?
It's a funny question. Probably someone like. Oh, I thought about it. Probably someone along the lines of Kieran Trippier.
Kieran Trippier. So what are your 10 key attributes for how you play?
I would say there's cardiovascular fitness is obviously is a cardio sport.
Yeah.
Tackling, being in defenders, as well as heading. Probably from more like a physiological and psychological side, motivation and attitude. Passing, obviously dribbling as well, being a fullback, and if you get the chance, shooting, heading, and muscular endurance, really.
And your first touch as well. So for cardiovascular fitness, you graded yourself 8 out of 10. Why do you think that's a particular strength of yours?
Because as a fullback, you have to get up and down the pitch. The way that football's become is that you have to be able to do the runs rather than just defend or just attack. And I think that's quite a strength of my game is getting forward, but also being able to track back in time so that there's no kind of damage when the team's uneven.
Yeah, I agree, and I rated you a 7 as well, because I think that's one of your strengths. So it's not something you need to focus on to improve, but there is plenty you can improve on. Motivation's a 7 out of 10. Why do you think that is?
Because I love playing football. I think, therefore, I don't find motivation hard to come by, because when you love playing it, you love playing it. Like it's civilised to me, really.
Yeah, so I thought that's similar. And tackling, this is one of your weaker things. You got a 6 out of 10 for that.
Yeah.
So why do you think it's not that weak, but why do you think it's weaker than some of the other attributes?
Well, some of it is physiological, my leg, but also I think there's a lot of aspects of tackling that doesn't necessarily encompass. So timing can sometimes be a little bit of an issue, and so I think it's just reading and anticipating the opposition where they're going to go. And I think that you could be very good at making slide tackles, but if you can't anticipate where the opposition wants the ball to be played, then.
So do you think that's something you need to focus on to improve?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, definitely going stronger into the challenge as well, because sometimes if you're a bit weak into the tackle, even if you get the ball perfectly, it still will bobble to them if they're stronger than you. Another weakness is shooting. That got you a 5 out of 10, which I also agree with, because that's not necessarily one. Yes, like Kieran Trippier is good with that, obviously with his free kick at the World Cup, but why do you think shooting is not one of your strong points again?
Just something that you don't tend to work on as a defender. It's not a position you tend to always find yourself in, but I think it's definitely something to work on, because you find yourself in that. When you find yourself in those positions, you can't just miss a glaring opportunity and say it's fine because I'm a defender. I think it's something that I have to be a little bit better prepared for. But I think it comes. It's like we said. It comes with the nature of the position.
Yeah. So definitely with that shooting, it's all about knowing when to shoot, like setting your body first.
Yeah,
so you're not off balance when you take the shot, because that's a lot of the time what defenders have. They're a bit off balance because obviously they're a bit clunkier to say than the more agile forwards. So when they hit it, it'll go out there. So that's something you can work on. Passing, so I agree with you with shooting as well. Passing, I rated you a 7, but you rated yourself a 5. Why do you think that's another bit of a weaker point?
I think it's probably not. Again, it's an aspect thing. Passing is not necessarily. I'd probably agree with you more on individual passes, but it's more the vision of the time to play the ball and what the right pass is to play at the right moment, especially as a fullback. whether you play it wide, whether you switch it, whether you just keep the ball, that kind of thing. It's knowing what's best in the situation.
Yes. Yeah. So with passing as well, I thought you were okay with the longer and shorter passing. So it's just refining that, knowing how much power you're supposed to get on it. Because if you put too much power on a long pass, one, it's going to be difficult for your teammates to control, but also it might go out of play. So just making it more precise. Dribbling again, that was a 5 out of 10. I agreed with you on that aspect as well. Why do you think dribbling is a 5 out of 10?
I think because as a defender, I'm more of a runner with the ball than a dribbler. I tend to let the winger of the team do the dribbling. I'm more counter-attacking with my dribbling. So can I just take a couple of big touches, get it out my feet and get it out the pitch, rather than a kind of little touches here and there to try and beat players. But actually, if you can start to beat fullbacks, that's where you get a good chance to get a ball in. So it's probably something that is worth considering.
Yeah, so definitely with dribbling, like you said, making sure it's closer to your feet, because otherwise big touches, opposition player can slide right in. No matter what position they play, every player's got that aspect of tackling, whereas they can see if they've got a big touch in front of them, just come in and take the ball away. So yeah, it's definitely about that close control, and also just a bit of agility, bit of balance and agility as well. So if you take it around them, you can stay on your feet, and it's easier to get around them. Yeah. First touch though, going on to that was a strength of yours. I think you got 7 out of 10 for that. Yeah. So why do you think that's a good strength of yours?
Just because I tend to be able to kill the ball a little bit, and I think also, but it's not just about having the ball dead at your feet and then playing. It's sometimes, especially as a fullback, you're on the move a lot. Like I said about getting up the pitch, and can your first touch set you to then play, or to then play a ball in. So I think it's about anticipating what's right for the moment again, and I think I do all right in that. Really.
So I agree with you there. Solid first touch, whether it's shot along the ground, whether it's high, you've got a good first touch, so that's not something you need to improve on. Heading, that was a bit weaker with a 6 out of 10. Why do you think they're not that strong with your heads? No, you can do alright, but why do you think they're that strong?
I think it's just a case of timing the header. Once we get up and I meet it well, then that tends to be alright, but it's just timing your jump. If I can start timing my jump a little bit better, then I start meeting the ball with a little bit more power and momentum.
Yeah, it's also with heading, it's the thing where you need to anticipate, if there's no one on me, is this a heading opportunity?
Yeah,
this is where I can take it down. And also setting your body first, because if you're not ready, when you try and jump, you won't get that maximal height when you jump to then meet it properly, then hit the top of your head, something like that. Attitudes. See, it wasn't that weak. It was a 6 out of 10 for your attitude. So it's all right, but it's not brilliant. Why do you think your attitude isn't as good as some of your other aspects?
I think sometimes my motivation can get the best of me, and I get frustrated a little bit easier than I perhaps should do, and that's a weakness, I suppose. I've rated it sort of midway because I felt that that's a good thing, because I'm striving for high performance, but sometimes I get hard on myself or I get hard on other players, and actually in the moment that's just a rush of blood from motivation rather than the best thing to do in the situation. So I need to calm it a little bit and be a little bit more conservative.
Yeah, so like you said, with attitudes, to try and keep you calm a lot more as well, because lots of players do that when they snap and then they make a bad decision off of. So if you just make sure, keep your head, then you have the best performance overall. All of those other things will improve if you've got a good attitude, especially just not just on the pitch, in training as well. Yeah. Now, muscular endurance, the last one, that was a 7 out of 10. Why do you think you're quite strong in that aspect?
Just because I tend to not be shrugged off the ball as much, and I tend to still be fairly strong going into the last stage of the game. It's not like I tend to be shrugged off the ball as much. It's more because if you're winning games, obviously the opposition will tend to throw on bigger players to exploit fatigue, and I tend to be able to do all right in that. Shielding the ball, holding my position, holding my ground. So it tends to be all right, really.
Yeah, that's right. So I said that as well. You're quite fit. Holding your ground, because not letting the opposition wait you off the ball. And yeah, so that's your 10. That is your 10 attributes. Thank you very much.